the story of the people helping people all throughout this land of ours, because that's what we're all about. This is the story. This is the story of the people helping people all throughout this land of ours, because that's what we're all about. This is the story.
Welcome to Powered by Volunteers. This is Lisa. We are in the month of June, and I'm just taking a wild guess at that because we are still coming to you from the state of isolation and quarantine. Thank you. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with one of my favorite people, Krystal Reilly, also from the great state, actually, of Texas. We are in Texas. Hi, Krystal. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to speak with you. You were actually nominated by more than one person. And so I'm really happy to talk to you about all the outstanding volunteer work you have been doing, not just for Powered by People, but for Beto O'Rourke himself. During his presidential campaign is when I first met you in Austin. And so, yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about what you've been up to, what you did in the past, what you're doing now, and all of that fun stuff.
Yes, I loved you. I'm so humbled that actually more than one person nominated me. So to those people, thank you so much. That is super, super sweet and kind of you. And I'm humbled, and it means a lot to me. But yeah, let's go. What do you want to know, girlfriend? Let's talk.
Girl, everything. Come on. Okay, here's something. Well, first off, everyone reaches out to you for graphics. Yeah. Everyone, for every campaign, every candidate, every time we need something. Okay, well, do you know Krystal? Let's just call her. Go ahead, reach out to her because she knows how to do that stuff. I know I, for one, am technically illiterate. I don't understand that entire world. And anyone who needs I don't know what the word is. Is it GIF or GIF?
I say GIF.
Okay, then that's what I'll say.
Tomato.
Thank you. Data.
Girl, you said it best.
And yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing something for Wendy Davis. Maybe we could do a little GIF. And you always come through with not one, not two, but like 5 or 6 or 7 different amazing things. And for like every candidate, not just for Texas, but for other states. But before then, I remember meeting you in Austin during the presidential race. And I think we were both pretty timid at the time, really hadn't canvassed, really hadn't done anything. But we were both there for something other than just the free food. You know, we just really wanted to learn about volunteering for the campaign. What could we do? You know, Texas is so important. And I remember just, discussing our fears about getting out and doing something. You know, we're both moms, kids, and but could see the need. You know, this is just so important. What can we do? And now we've both gone out there. We've both canvassed. We've phone banked. We've postcarded. We've done all kinds of stuff. So what was it for you that made you take that step and say, yeah, it's time?
As selfish as it seems, I think my kids. I do think, it does sound selfish because there's a world outside of my kids and myself. But I think that in having brought my kids into this world, there is a responsibility on my shoulders to ensure that they are given the best life that they can have, right? So there's a certain means that I personally can provide to my children, and there's dangers that I personally can protect them from. And now it extends beyond that. And in this case, it extends to the Republican Party. And I know that sounds crazy, but when we're talking about the environment that they have to live in and the soil that their food is going to grow on and all of these different things that literally are the habitat of which they will live and hopefully survive through, I have to fight beyond just the basic essentials and needs. And I think that was a huge motivation for me, was putting my girls to sleep at night and thinking to myself, I'm praying, I'm being hopeful, but like there needs to be something more that I'm doing to make sure that my kids are okay and that they're safe. If I die tomorrow, like what did I leave them? Like, if I die in a year and let's say, hypothetically Donald Trump is reelected, like beyond me in this world, they're fucked. Like, they are absolutely fucking fucked. And that sort of pressure, and I don't mean to use that language, but I feel like I kind of have to use that extreme language because the situation we are in is extreme. Exactly. And so given, you know, those very real circumstances, I felt like a saying that I had throughout the entire time was, at the end of the day, I don't ever want to say, I could have, I should have done more, but didn't. And that was something I would tell people, like, you know, people, Krystal, but your kids are at home and you're traveling here and you're spending money to go there. And it was just like, if when it's all said and done, when I tap out, did I do everything? And so that kind of became my motto, inspired by my kids. And so with that being, you know, with that whole mantra, it was the mama bear that was just like, I need to make sure that I fight for something that I believe in. And, you know, in combination with the two, it allowed me to break barriers and beyond for something that I truly felt passionate about. And I must just say, you know, in the context of this, is I truly don't know the last time I did feel this passionate about something. So not to say that didn't help the cause as well.
I totally understand that. I mean, before Trump was elected, I had always voted from the time I turned 18, but I hadn't been politically active. I'd been a special needs advocate on behalf of my son, but until that man was elected, it's like I totally forgot I had a daughter also. And the day after that election, it's like I woke up and it was like, where the hell have I been? Her reproductive rights are at risk. Everything about her life, we're Mexican American. Everything about my family is being threatened, not just my disabled son, but my daughter's entire future. Everything, my family on the southern border, everything about our life is now threatened every day for the next 4 years. I need to do something. And exactly. That's what got me off the sofa, out the front door after living in a bubble for so long. And, you know, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what this country needed, is this horrific man and everything he stands for getting elected so that we would become engaged. And then thankfully, you know, Beto O'Rourke came around. You know, we all noticed him. I think for a lot of us on Facebook, you know, some of his streaming videos and the kneeling video, and then becoming engaged and reaching out in Central Texas for those of us that live here, and then social media outreach, and then getting to connect one-on-one with each other and the Texas tours. Obviously the Senate race didn't work out, but then getting to meet each other during the presidential campaign. And then when that didn't work out, our job still wasn't done. We still have a country to save, and Powered by People was born. And he turned to his volunteers because we get the job done.
That's one thing he can always say, is that, yeah, we don't mind putting work in. We don't mind getting to work. We don't mind it at all.
Yeah, and then we all descended on to Katie in a big way.
Yeah.
And yeah, and not only do you do graphics and then the physical part of volunteering, you have a store. You do a lot of volunteering for a lot of different candidates. So tell us how you started up with your store, what that was about.
Okay, so when I first initially got started working with Beto, I was working full time, had income coming in. I was able to be more financially active in like the process of like when that email comes in, like hitting that $10 button or the $100 button. I was in a position to do that, right? And so my financial situation had changed over a while, and some of the programs I use cost money. And as much as, you know, volunteering works, the money is important too. So I kind of wanted to brainstorm on how I can kind of put those two together, how I can still contribute financially to the campaign without, you know, putting that financial burden on our family with my lack of income. And so that was where the idea, where the store first happened, was because I still wanted to travel and be able to go to the events, get signatures, you know, the whole Beto Warriors, you know, thing. Like it came to a point where the money would have been halted for things like that. So it really was an attempt to be able to have the funds to be able to travel and still get, you know, ongoing to the campaign. So that was how it generated. And then it was that when I made products for other candidates outside of Beto, then that money would go to those specific campaigns as well. So as you know, in the stores, there are things that are exclusively mine that, like, you know, vote, like, you know, basic items, but anything that was candidate related were people that I felt passionate about and felt like this is a way I can sell something with their name and still contribute financially to their campaign, given the change of my financial circumstances, so to speak. So that was kind of like how that developed. It just, you can volunteer all day, but when we think about, you know, if we hear why Beto says he dropped out of the race, we had volunteers, right? But it was money. Like, we need the money. So that was really where the push of trying to find an alternative to still contribute to the causes that are people that mean a lot to me.
You're wearing one of your buttons right now. There
I
it is.
See it. If you could see it.
Powered by people. There, yep, there it is.
Mine.
I've got several of those. In fact, if you need anything for a campaign, this woman will get it done for you. I mean, in less than a week. You know, I volunteer for the Biden campaign, and when we first started traveling at the beginning of this year, I am very passionate about Latino outreach. So is Krystal. You know, she also is the admin for Latinos for Biden on Facebook. But I asked her very early at the beginning of this year, back in January, could you do anything that says Latinos for Biden? And in less than a week, this woman had an entire bag, I think it was 80 buttons that said Latinos for Biden. And I was able to go to Iowa with this bag of buttons that everyone wanted. I mean, I think I maybe had 5 left. By the time I went through Iowa, Nevada, I sent some to South Carolina and then back to Texas. By the time we went to the rally in Dallas, I mean, it was, and the people, by the way, with Victory Latino loved them. We were able to trade buttons back and forth. And so, yeah, I need some more. And
I have more. I have a lot more, actually. So,
I mean, yeah, if you need something, please get a hold of her at ATX Krystal. No.
ATX Krystal, yes.
Yeah, ATX Krystal, because she has it in her store, or if she doesn't, she can get it done pretty damn quick.
Yes. And it's
I
important
know.
to note for all the Latinos out there, if you do want a Latinos for Biden button, they were purchased by donors. Donors actually paid for the product. So I have them to give out for free. So if you just pay $250 for shipping, that covers the weight of 4 buttons. So if you want them, just message me and I have them ready to rock and roll, FYI.
Yeah, I still need it. And the Powered by People gear, the buttons, the sticker, I still need to get stickers. I still don't have Powered by People stickers, but the buttons, got all my Powered by People buttons. She had those. She was handing those out in Katy, and they're just magnificent. The stickers, which I've seen, I mean, are just, she's got like some iridescent ones, and the stuff that she does for all of these campaigns is fabulous. So please check all of that out too. The graphics that she does for so many of these different campaigns that everybody clamors for. I'm not even kidding. If you need a GIF, am I saying that word right? God, I ask everybody this question at least 10 times a day. Just look it up. Go onto your GIF keyboard and just look it up. Chances are she's the one who did that. No matter who it's for, whether it's for Sheree or Wendy or Jennifer or Eliz, it was her. She did it. Beto, of course, Powered by People. It was her. She did those. So that is why she is being interviewed right now. And we still have work to do. You know, this election, we're getting closer, but we're still, I think, 85 days out as of today. And so I'm just so thrilled to talk to you today, Krystal. Thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah. There anything else you want to add? Anything else at all?
So I just want to say, yesterday I posted some more graphics online for people. I think an important thing in all of this, right, is a lot of what we're doing is scheduled. So it's like, hey, on the 13th at 7 o'clock, there's this Zoom for this, be there or be square. And the reality is that for many of us, our schedules are not giving to some of these events, right? And so maybe, for instance, there's a mom like me who has 2 kids in the house who have been round up in the home since February, have so much energy, and it really, in a way, limits a lot of what I want to be involved in, but can't be involved in because I have that's my priority first and foremost. And so I'm trying to brainstorm ways, or folks like myself who kind of have no choice but to hustle to our own beat, that we can still be involved in things, right? So if you go to my my Twitter page for now, you will find that I listed some posters that you can print from home that people are doing in Austin. We're putting posters inside of sleeves and putting them on, what do you call it? Poles around town, make sure it's legal and that, you know, your HOA approves it, but to help get people registered to vote. I have postcard templates, and I just really want to be able to help everyone who's kind of, I guess, how do I say it? Anyone whose schedule, I guess, you know, is not, what is the word I'm looking for, Lisa?
Where you're not able to like catch up with all of these
there you
things
go.
that are going.
Yeah.
There's just so many all the time.
So for those who don't have a schedule that you're able to work around, you know, because for me, I think maybe 10 p.m. sometimes is when I'm finally winding down and it's like, oh my God. And then I'm pulling out like the postcards or whatever. So like my face isn't seen in these postcard parties or whatever. And that's fine. But as long as I know that I'm doing the work on my own time, like that makes me feel good. So I know that there's a lot of people, women, moms, dads, whatever, who are in the same boat where they want to be involved. So if you're one of those people and like you want ideas of things to do outside of like these Zooms, like hit me up, because I literally have a list of things that I've been keeping track of that I do that work around those schedules. And I think that's important too, because a lot of people feel pushed out of like, you know, they think, oh, I can't, you know, I'm not participating in this. And they kind of feel demotivated from not seeing their face in this praise and everything else. But I think the ultimate praise is what it happens on November 3rd. So if you can't be part of a Zoom, that's fine. If you can't be part of a phone call, that's fine. There's so much to do beyond that. And so I encourage you to, and I really encourage you to reach out to me if you need some ideas on how to be part of it, or to be, you know, actively involved during mom and dad hours, which we all know is literally like, there's no scheduling involved in that. So I do want to make that a point, because I think that's very important that people understand that that a Zoom isn't like, with all due respect, Lisa, you know how I mean that. You know I don't mean that in like that sense. Oh my God, that sounds freaking horrible. You know what I mean, right? Oh my God, I'm like
exactly
mortified right now.
Dude, I'm up. By the time it gets to 10, I am zoomed out, but I know exactly what you mean. That is so beautifully said. There are so many people that cannot make these meetings. They are working throughout the day. They are with their kids. There are so many things going on during the day. It's impossible to make all of these different meetings. It's just impossible. They can't do it. And they want to be involved. They want to do something. And I'm so glad that I saw these posters a couple of days ago, and I immediately saved them. And so, yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
That's just like one thing I really did want to say, because I know for me, like when it first started, I started to feel like, wow, like I'm useless. Like nobody knows that I'm doing this stuff. But it was like, wait, am I doing this stuff for me? Like, why do I care who sees my face on a Zoom? Like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the cause. So that's what I really just want people to understand is, who are you doing this for? And because I have had these conversations with parents who feel like they've become useless now that they're home with their kids and can't be involved, and they're not like, you know, featured in screenshots, and they feel like they've lost their value. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't devalue yourself because you can't attend, you know, a scheduled event because you have real life things happening. But understand that real life things happening doesn't stop you from being involved at different times. So I think with that, all of us can kind of be very active in this process with understanding the lack of value in face presence and the actual value in the action of your presence. So I think that's something we all need to do.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. I literally wrote something about that this morning. Just because you may not be seen on something, or you're not very active in a chat room or something, that has absolutely nothing to do with your activism.
Yeah, maybe you're not active
Nothing.
because you're out there working. Like it's hard to make those judgments on people and what they're going through.
Right.
And I think, yeah, and I'm seeing that too, because I have talked to people, and I know that people feel like they don't feel seen. And so we see you, all of you guys out there, we see you. If you're not there on there every day and your face isn't, you know, all over the Zooms, we see you, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. And we know it's not easy, so keep it up.
Oh, I love you, Krystal.
I love you, Lisa. Cutie pie. I want to grab your face like this and give you a little kiss. You're so cute. You're so cute.
Stop.
Are you blushing, Lisa? You're blushing. It's cute. Look at you. You're soaking it up.
Thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you.
I can't wait till we can see each other again. It's been a very long time. This is Lisa with Powered by Volunteers. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.